Welcome back to Martial Monday with Johnny Tiger on October 2nd, 2023. Since tomorrow is me and Kitten's anniversary, most likely I'm not going to be able to get a video. Not going to get around to a video. I decided to take Tactical Tuesday and put it today. We talked about fight stances before. Several different fight stances like the common scene Muay Thai style stance, the common scene MMA Krav Maga stance, karate stance, etc., etc. And I believe that one of the stances I touched upon was the old boxing stance or the pugilist stance. This stance is not seen very often nowadays. Most people seem to uh, prefer the peekaboo style boxing stance or the more modern take on the boxing stances, uh, framing your face with your arm, turning your body sideways, the short stance, the long stance. Um, the pugilist stance is one of those that's kind of a relic of the old days that not many people still utilize, but I myself like to break it out and dust it off and use it during sparring sessions sometime. And today I'm going to sort of give you guys a little crash course on why this is a good stance, what are the pros and cons, why I personally like it sometimes, and if you stay with me till the end of the video, I'll show you a nice sneaky little attack that you can do from this stance that is simple but actually very difficult for your opponent to avoid. So, what is the pugilist stance? For those of you who can't see the screen, this is a fight stance where you have one hand crossed over. So my left, I'm tucking my chin toward my left collarbone. My left hand is resting just to the right of my face. So essentially, my left arm is diagonal across my chest. I can either make a fist or I like to do an open hand. And this hand is just resting, protecting the right side of my face. And this allow me to have one arm forward to throw punches, uh, do what I need to do. And this hand, the guarding hand, basically is here to protect my face. Now, some people looking at this, they say, well, that's silly because you're only protecting the right side of your face. What about people hit you on the left side? This is why pugilist stance is really good. I have my left arm crossed over my left hand on the right side of my face, my chin tucked. So if the punch comes from the front, my left hand is immediately able to ward it off by just swiveling at the elbow. If the punch comes from my right side, my hand is right here. My hand is right here. I can just meet it. Okay? Now, I want to quickly say this. For this block, for this stance to be effective, you do not want to just rest this hand and having that in place and still. You don't want to be static, okay? If a punch is coming, you got to meet it. You got to meet it, right? You got to push, meet it with your hand, with your palm. If you just keep your palm here by your face, what's going to happen is if the strike comes, boom, it's going to rebound into your face, right? That's not what you want to do. Okay, so now to answer the obvious question, I'm guarding the right side of my face with my left hand. What if the punch comes from the left? That's simple. Okay, if you look at my chin position and my arm position, all it takes is me to tuck my chin and raise my left shoulder, and that punch is going to either bounce off my head, my skull, or most likely my shoulder. Right? Now, I do not want to keep my head up because, yeah, it's going to get me on the head. But if I tuck my chin down, raise my shoulder, boom, hit my shoulder. Right? If the punch comes low, then drop my elbow just a fraction, and that will protect my ribcage. And obviously, punch comes from right side for the elbow, my right hand right here. My right arm can retract and block that easily. All around, the pugilist stance is a deceptively easy stance for people to underestimate because they think you're only guarding one side of your face. But it covers up really, really good if you know the arm movement. Okay? Again, guarding with my left, tucking my chin, fight, the fist come from the right, boom, fist come from the front, fist come from the left, boom, boom. It's easy to block a lot of the angles. And because my elbow is basically down the center of my body, so this effectively closes down a lot of uppercuts. And it's very hard to uppercut me on the chin when my elbow is here, my chin is tucked in. Right? And this is basically allowing me to just blocking almost all angles with that one arm, while the other arm can go to work. And in this case, normally I would be jabbing with my left hand in a normal MMA style, Krav Maga style fight stance. In a pugilist stance, I don't need to rely on that. And in a pugilist stance, my left hand take care of most of the guarding, and my right hand take care of the jab, the quick jab, and the cross, and the hook, and elbow strike, and grabbing, whatever I need to do. So essentially, you're dividing your guard up to one side defense, one side attack. Okay? Is it better than a lot of the other stances? No. Obviously, the other stances have their advantages, and a lot of them are actually better. That's why they're more widely used today. But when you know what you're doing, the pugilist stance is a very fun stance to fight from because a lot of people don't know how to break through that. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about one of the most common. I already answered one of the most common questions asked by people about the pugilist stance, which is if you only guard one side, what happens to the other side? Well, as you guys can see, other side very well protected. Shoulder, elbow, right? Very well protected. No problem there. So let's answer the second question regarding pugilist stance. A lot of people say, okay, so you got one arm blocking. So does that mean that you can't strike with that arm? So it's predictable. All your strikes is from the right arm if your left hand is blocking, right? That's not true. I want to show you guys something. Okay, let's say I'm going to fight with a pugilist stance. See how fast that hook come out, right? See how fast that left hook can come out. Watch that again. I go in pugilist stance, punch, right hand jab, right hand jab, cross hook, uh, hook, right? I can hook very quickly because while my arm is blocking, it's in a very powerful ready position. So for me to throw that hook, all it takes is get that arm in position and rotate, whip that arm out there. Right? I can also, from this position, from the guard position, I can jab pretty quickly with that hand as well. And return to guard. Right? Jab, uppercut, return to guard. So that blocking arm is not just for defense. Okay, it's not, that's a misunderstanding of this technique. The defending arm can come out and deliver a hard strike when you need to, and very, very quickly. So, what are the pros and cons of the pugilist stance? Well, the pro as it stands is that it's not widely used. Not many people know about it nowadays. Not many people know how to deal with it. So if you suddenly go into this, there's a very big chance that you're going to get a lot of free hits in, and your opponent don't know how to break through your guard. So it's a very uh, sort of niched stance today. Also, another pro is it's a very relaxing stance. Okay, so a lot of people when they're fighting, you guys seen that before. People get tired, their hands start dropping, leaving their head open. That's why your coach is always yelling at you, keep your hands up, right? In pugilist stance, because if this is so comfortable, I'm just keeping my hand on the side and my arm is resting against my chest like this. So even when I'm super tired, I can still do a really good defense because all I have to do is remember tuck, to tuck my chin, right? So it's very relaxing. It doesn't take as much energy as a lot of the other stances. Three, it's deceiving because most people, like I mentioned, think that because my left arm is crossed over like this and guarding, it's going to be my right hand that doing all the damaging, all the fighting. That is not true, right? That is not true. Watch how fast the cook can come out, right? Right? Number four, the pugilist stance, even though it was mostly known as a boxing stance, it allows you to bring a lot of your other tools into play if you have to, if it's not a boxing fight, right? My hand is crossed over and resting on the side of my face, which means anytime I want, I can grab the person's lapel and go for a judo throw. Right? All I have to do is drop this arm across and I can grab something, right? If it's a street fight, I can go for the face almost without warning. When my hand is already here, watch how fast this is. From here to here to the face, from here to here to the ear, from here to here to the throat. Okay, this is a very tricky, very sneaky kind of stance to fight from. Now, what are some of the cons? The cons obviously is that you have a weak point, which is the fighting side. So if my left hand is doing the guarding, my right rib cage, my right kidney, these areas are less defended. They are still defended because my right arm can retract and defend, but they are not as covered up as my left side. So you do kind of leave yourself a kind of a Achilles heel um, with this stance. Number two, this stance is awful if you run into someone who hits really hard. Why is that? Because your guarding hand is so close to your body, right? So if the person overpowers you with really hard strikes, immediately you are off balance. Because if my arm are out here in front of my face, like today's MMA style fighting, and someone come and throw really hard punches, I just have to angle my arm out to meet that, and that won't throw me off balance. But if my hand is right here by my head, and the person either catch me off timing or hit me with really hard hit that push me back, immediately I'm stumbling. Okay, so this is a stance that can get you knocked off balance if you get overpowered by your opponent. And this will lead to our number three. Number three con of the pugilist stance is that this stance get tied up very easily. So let me show you guys what I mean. Let's say Bruce here is in pugilist stance with the arm diagonal across the chest like this and the hand guarding his face. For me, because I know how pugilist stance work, so if I need to shut him down, then all I need to wait for is that one opportunity where I can shoot in and put my elbow and forearm right at the back of his tricep. Oops. Now this arm is jammed up. I don't care how strong he is not getting this arm retracted. So this is stuck there. This is stuck there. And I can keep pushing him into the wall or do a takedown or just work from here, short range punches to the face. He can't do anything about that. Okay, so having this arm jammed up is very, very dangerous in this stance. So watch out for that. Now, I did say I'm going to show you guys one secret attack from this pugilist stance, and this is a good one. I use this a lot, and one of the most common feedback people will say is that it's so deceiving that you can't tell where I'm going to hit. And it's a simple technique. Okay, while my right arm is doing the punching, my left arm is doing the guarding. When I throw my right arm, my left arm make a hammer fist, make a fist, and set that hammer fist against my own chest. So from this angle, I can straight from my chest to their chest, from my chest to their face, from my chest down to the groin. Okay, this is how fast this hammer fist can come out because it's already chambered here at my shoulder. Right? It doesn't need to have that back swing. It's already here. So from here, boom. From here, boom. From here, boom. Yeah, you don't have time to see where I'm going for. From that one point of origin, I go for the face, I go for the groin, I go for the chest, I go for the throat. Right? Again, obviously, the pugilist stance is mostly not used today because it doesn't fit with a lot of the fighting styles of today. But it's a fun little technique, ancient technique to learn and get good at, and a lot of fun to play with. Hopefully, that you guys find this episode fun and informative, and I'll be back again on Wednesday for some Wisdom Wednesday. For now, have a good night, and yay, happy 5th year anniversary to me and Kitten.